So, as we go, if you want to talk us through this gameplay, so we can know what we've got coming up.
Yeah. I'll take this part. So here the player is doing his first quest, and he got a scanner, a device. Player at this point doesn't know a lot about how it works and what it's for. He just gets information that it somehow recharges an artifacts that's put it inside it, and that if it got successful, it's gonna bring a lot of let's say money. Maybe something else. So at this point, player don't know what is the goal of the character, why he's doing it, and he's learning the story about your character also by doing this quest line.
Because this is actually the bit that they've got on the show floor here, isn't it? At the start of the game. Because I had so much fun. I get what you mean as well when you're just trying to discover what exactly it does, and the storyline sets that up. But what about the combat in the game as well? Because we can kind of see our first fight here.
Yeah. So it's a group of bandits. They were resting just nearby in their camp and doing their cheeky-breaky stuff. And then they saw that something happened. A wall was destroyed with a huge noise. They just turned up going to see what's happening and found you, a player, and
it's amazing as well, because I found myself when I was playing this I was like the flashlight turning on and off, and like you can also like lean round corners, can't you, to kind of like engage fights from like a bit of cover.
Yeah, so it's very important in this game to have a proper tactics. You should hide a lot. You should use your medkits. You should survive grenades, because AI is very pushing and challenging. They trying to outcome you, to go from other side, and it's pretty stressful. So it's a first fight. It's very simple fight against 3 bandits, but as from what we can see, it's often lead you to several deaths.
It's very unforgiving as well, and we just see as well. I found that it's like a big part of the game is like looting. So what kind of things should people be looking out for when they're looting?
Yeah. So the part of the game. So while we are fighting, we are losing our resources, consumables, food, ammo, and after the fight finished, we have to get through the dead bodies' pockets to find some ammunition, maybe loot their camp to restore what there is, because they can bring like hundreds of thousands of kilograms. They have to make some stashes for there, and players sometimes find them, and it's often rewardable, and often it's very rewardable, because you can get a huge equipment boost by just going to some building you didn't expect to find anything there, but it could be there.
That's what I found. I found myself like an assault rifle when I just had a pistol to start with. I was like exploring buildings and found that. But the game also, it looks amazing.
Yeah, this is the start of a next fight. The player, we have some stealth mechanics. So it's not very as you used to have a stealth in the game. It doesn't offer you like ability to be invisible for enemies. No, they will see you and shoot you. But at least it allows you to get slightly closer, to find better position to start the fight, and or maybe to initiate the fight with a grenade, so it would be easier for you. And then the fight is pretty challenging. And you have to watch your hit points and your state, because you could get bleeding, and you have to use a bandage to stop this bleeding, because it's gonna last for long, and you're gonna lose a lot of hit points if you not stop and use the bandages.
Yeah, because you have multiple ways of healing, don't you? You've got like the bandages to stop the bleeding, but there's like different types of med kits that you can find as well.
You can have a regular med kits, medical med kits, and an army med kit. And they provide additional boosts, but mostly it's restoring the hit points. But also, if you are not in the fight and you just need to recover a small portion of health, you can just eat and it will also bring you a small portion of hit points.
See, that's what I loved as well. I found like there's so much resource management that you have to like pay attention to in Stalker, which really gives you a different challenge. So it's like you said, if you don't eat, you're going to perform worse in gunfights.
Yeah, so you have to watch about your state, just like you're watching about yourself. So we try to bring this simulation or atmosphere as you being the real human that goes to Chornobyl explosion area with your backpack, with some food, and you just have to do the same things to survive in the game as in life, because you have to eat, you have to sleep, you have to like you fall, you broke your leg, you have to use some medkits to survive the first Stalker trilogy, and there are new factions, and they have a story behind them of how they appear, what is their goals, and for the player, it would be interesting to uncover and discover these stories. And it's important to mention that from one walkthrough, the player won't know the whole story. So you had to have several walkthroughs to get all these pieces together, or you could discuss it with your friend who choose some other path, and you can share the information about what you see to each other, and you uncover, oh, I didn't expect that it would happen like this. So it's, for me, I find it should be interesting for people to discuss their experience with each other.
Yeah, we also saw just beforehand, right, we can actually see the scanner going on right now. Can you talk us through this?
It's echo scanner, it's a simple scanner, you just beep, and the faster it beeps, the nearest is an artifact. You can collect an artifact just by using scanner, and at this point, player face that Bloodsucker is a canonical enemy in Stalker series. He has an ability to become invisible for player, and we found that from the feedback of the players and from what we see that he's doing quite challenging thing for the players, and but also it's very rewarding, because when you start playing the game and you start facing some challenge for the first time, you may die, second time you may die, but after it becomes easier for you, and at some point you become master of the game. Everything is easy for you, but it takes time to learn the game.
This terrified me. Like, honestly, I was there going like, wait, at first I was like, what's attacking me? And I was like, how do I counter this? And I was like, suddenly realized there was a camouflaged opponent attacking me. It's like, I love that in this game though, is there are so many challenging enemy like components, whether you're fighting bandits, whether you're like fighting these sort of enemies. And then I was like looting everything. I became like a loot goblin, where I was going into every building and just trying to find as many medkits so that I could stay alive.
And there is also a lot of pieces of content just near the locations. This is not a main quest, it's often not a side quest, it's just some encounters or narrative little stories to bring you an experience of discovering this real location, real zone, and it's not a fake world. It's full of small pieces. And for me, I find it very interesting to discover. Even if I know the game pretty much, it's still the world map is so huge. So even for me, going back to some locations.